Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to make a little technical adjustment to the budget if we can. The purpose of this amendment is to replace the $63,750 in salary that the Attorney General lost during the course of the 2023 impeachment. As you guys may be aware, the House of Representatives rolled over an unexpended balance from the last biennium of $19 million that was unexpended. $63,750 is a small amount of money to the House of Representatives, but it's very significant to the Attorney General. And if we believe that not only politicians but regular citizens are entitled to the presumption of innocence, we should truly believe that he should have been entitled to his salary during the course of his suspension. And now that he's been acquitted, if you broke it, you bought it. I ask you to vote for this motion and support it and replace and atone for the money that was lost during that period of time.
Riddell, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
I do yield for
Gentleman
questions.
yields.
Thank you. Representative Little, is it true that the Attorney General Ken Paxton was acquitted by the Texas Senate?
That's true.
And during that time, he was unable to fulfill the duties of his office, not because he was convicted of anything, but because the House chose to impeach him based on accusations that ultimately didn't hold up in the Senate. Is that correct?
That's accurate.
Okay. Isn't it true that under the Texas Constitution, if a judge is suspended from office and they're still required to receive their pay unless they're convicted? And isn't it also true that teachers, peace officers, and other public servants, even if suspended without pay, have mechanisms to request payback later? Is that clear? Is that true?
Yes, Mr. Riddell, it is true that all the public servants that you identified are entitled to their back pay unless they're convicted.
That sounds like it matches this situation. If the standard is no conviction, no consequence for judges, teachers, and law enforcement, why is the Attorney General the exception?
Well, in this, it appears that we make certain exceptions for people who have a certain political elevation, and I don't think that should be the case. I think we should treat the Attorney General like any other public servant who's acquitted of the charges against them.
I agree with that. Are you okay with setting a precedent where duly elected statewide officials voted in by over 4 million Texans is punished financially, even if he's acquitted?
I'm not, and I don't think anyone in this chamber should be. And I'll just say, members, this shouldn't be controversial. We had a complete trial, and we had an acquittal, and I think it's time to replace what was broken.
Members, this shouldn't be controversial. The Attorney General was acquitted after a full trial, and yet here we are refusing to reimburse him for salary we withheld, not because of conviction, but because of an accusation that didn't hold up. I'm going to ask you to join me in making this right. Thank you all for your all's time. Thank you, Mr. Little.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Schatzline, in favor.
Members, I'll be incredibly brief. I just want to make it incredibly clear what this vote is. You are going to vote right now whether to give back pay to our great Attorney General after he was acquitted, or you are voting to not give back pay to our great Attorney General even though he was acquitted. Thank you.
Mr. Vasut, in favor.
Pay the man.
Mr. Little. Dr. Bonin on the motion to instruct.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a motion to instruct the conferees on Senate Bill 1, and I actually agree with the topic that they're discussing. And I will be voting for this motion to instruct, but you should each vote your conscience, vote your district on this. I will also tell you there's another piece of legislation that is probably a more natural fit for this consideration, but please feel free to vote in favor of this. That's what I will be doing, or if you have a different perspective and you want to vote against it, essentially I'm going to make this will of the House, but I will be voting for it.
Mr. Wu, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield for questions?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Happy to yield for questions.
Gentleman yields.
Representative Bonin, the provisions for pay, those are in Texas statute? Like if you're impeached, what happens to your pay? That's in law, correct?
I'm not certain. It may be constitutional, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's written down that if you are impeached, you lose your pay, correct?
It is my understanding that that is a provision that is the reason why that occurred.
So what we're asking the body to do today is to vote to exempt one of our own from the laws of the state.
Well, the way I personally see this is that, again, it's a motion to instruct. There definitely are some constitutional considerations, and there may be, again, another legislative vehicle to address this. There may be a way to get around the concerns that Representative Wu has raised. But today it's more of a statement of sentiment or your belief of whether this should be done or not. And the mechanics of that will have to be dealt with outside of this motion to instruct.
Does any other member wish to speak on, for, or against the motion to instruct? Representative Louderback.
Members, doing the right thing for the right reason is never a bad thing. Thank you.
Does any other member wish to speak on, for, or against the motion to instruct? If not, Mr. Little to close on his motion to instruct.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I close.
All right. Following motion, the question occurs on the motion to instruct. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Dr. Bonham voting aye. Mr. Little voting aye. Ms. Fairley voting aye. Mr. Lopez voting no. Ms. Jones Ferris voting no. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? There being 88 ayes and 56 nays, the motion prevails.